Long-term unemployment has left millions of Americans struggling, and the ranks of the nation's poor have reached a new high. The Census Bureau says nearly 1 in 6 Americans are living in poverty. Reflecting the impact of the recession, the U.S. poverty rate has skyrocketed over the past 3 years, affecting 46.2 million people, or over 15% of the country. Good evening, I'm Laura Yamada.
And I'm Paula Akana. While the national numbers are up, the poverty rate in Hawaii has actually gone down slightly in the past year, dropping to 12.1% from 12.5% a year ago. But as KITV4's Paul Drews discovers, there is a growing concern because many above the poverty levels are still struggling in this economy.
James O'Connor lives below the poverty level, one of nearly 160,000 in the islands.
Well, 694 is what I get every month.
He lives in a small Chinatown apartment where it's a challenge to pay his bills every month.
I do get food stamps. That helps quite a lot.
As the number of Hawaii's poor has gone up over the past 4 years, food stamp use has shot up 80%, just one of many programs affected.
Across the board, all of the programs of the Department of Human Services have just been inundated since the onset of the Great Recession.
But the latest poverty numbers don't tell the entire story. While there are thousands at or below poverty levels, there are many others that make more but still fall below self-sufficiency standards for Hawaii. Poverty levels for a family of 3, say a single mom and 2 kids, is only $21,000. But factor in the additional cost of housing, medical care, food, and other essentials, and the self-sufficiency number more than doubles to $58,000 a year.
If we look at the gap between the poverty level and the self-sufficiency standard, there are a lot of families here in Hawaii struggling.
Tracy Clay sees who is struggling when they come into the River of Life mission for clothing, food, or other assistance.
Some of the guys are working. We do have working people, but they're just not making enough. Or they're supplementing their income by eating here.
This Tuesday evening, food is served up for those who cannot afford meals on their own or who need the money to pay for other essentials.
It's hard to make ends meet because of how everything is now.
Justin Moananu knows he has to bring his boys to the mission for meals, just one of those families struggling with the high cost of living in Hawaii.
We're very thankful for places like this, because they put extra money in our pockets.
In Chinatown, Paul Drews, KITV4 News.
Hawaii's poverty rates last spiked in 1997 when nearly 14% of Hawaii's population was at or below poverty levels.